Samuel Pepys' diary. The latter half of the 17th century is recorded by the diarists and letter writers. English prose is very much influenced by the diarists like Roger North, Countess of Warwick and others. But the influence of the supreme diarist of the period, Samuel Pepys, was considerable both upon the development of style and the broadening of subject matter. The diarists imparted colloquialism and the matter and helped to prepare the way for the rich, blossoming fiction that took place during the later part of the century. Samuel Pepys was born in London in 1636 and spent his early childhood in Queensland. Samuel Pepys' ambition was to become a historian. He published some of his memoirs. He is noted for the records of Great London Fire and the havoc of plague in England. His wife's death and his failing eyesight compelled him to close his unique diary. Pepys was involved in the Popish plot but was acquitted later on. His diary remained in the Library of Cambridge until 1826, after that various editions and translations followed. In Pepys's diary there are some shocking impressions. According to Pepys, Shakespeare was in no great favour at that time and he writes rather contemptuously about Shakespeare's plays. He was particularly critical of Shakespeare's tragedies, but the witty comedies were liked by the people. Pepys' diary is unique for it covers the first 9 years of Restoration. Pepys' diary is a day-to-day record of the acts and deeds, the pleasant and bitter impressions of a man. Samuel Pepys had no literary or historical purpose. Pepys' family life, his friendships, his worries, his likes and dislikes, his aesthetic views can be found in his diary. Along with Pepys, John Evelyn also wrote diaries. He was quite pedantic but careful about his work and very methodical in his arrangement. But despite his learning and his love of the arts, John Evelyn is somewhat colourless as a writer. He travelled extensively on the continents, and recorded the events of the Civil War from 1642 to 1646 that broke out in England. Evelyn's diary is full of information about the life of the second half of the 17th century. There is a fine description of places, gardens, and public edifices both at home or abroad. He has been described as a patriot who kept his loyalty in the most dangerous time. Both Samuel Pepys and John Evelyn through their diaries gave a good picture of social, political and historical life of England of the period.